Well, thanks again for joining us. The next segment, of course, is AM Talk. We'll be joined by Alex Afenyo-Markin. He's a member of parliament for Efutu. But in the meantime, I have in the studio Bright Demoji. And Bright is a member of parliament for Botiano, English Amanfro. Thanks for joining me. He's also a member of the NDC.
Yes.
Okay. I hear parliament will be going for an emergency sitting.
Yes.
So you are being recalled.
Yes, from tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, that's from tomorrow.
Yeah.
What for?
Actually, it wasn't specific, but I think there's some agent business that they want us to come and have a look at.
Okay. So you specifically can't tell?
Yeah, I think when we go tomorrow, the other
to
paper will indicate the agenda. Yeah.
All right. So now let's look at what the stories are on the front page of the Daily Graphic. It says a DCE has been jailed for contempt. Okay, and apparently the DCE whose picture is on the front page, handsome man, nice man, apparently being jailed for contempt. All that he did was just contempt the court, and so he's been given a 14-day imprisonment. And the court was presided over by Mrs. Justice Adjoa Coleman. This is the first time a 7 DCE has been jailed for wrongdoing since Ghana chose a democratic path again from 1992, and the DC demolished the market at Trifo Praso in spite of a stay of execution against the exercise. He was also said to have announced on a local radio station at Trifo that he had gone ahead to demolish the market, notwithstanding the court order, and nobody could take him to task. And the market women, that is the association in the area, they then filed a contempt case against him, and the High Court in Cape Coast, presided over by Ivy Hayward Mills, Justice Ivy Hayward Mills, earlier ordered the Assembly to relocate the old market at Trifo because it had encroached on police stations. We're talking about a school, hospital, and other court lands. And following that, he said the judiciary, in his description, were corrupt and thieves. While passing the judgment, the presiding judge said it was unfortunate that a public official of the DC's caliber should behave in such a manner. She said the convict should have known better, adding that the sentence would serve as a deterrent to others who thought they were above the law. So that's how it goes. What do you make of it, Honorable?
Yes. Is it ordinary the way our district assembly systems works? You see that most of the district assemblies don't have councils, like the legal department of our district assemblies, and that's one of the reasons why I said that the human resource capacity of our various district assemblies has called to question once again, because if we didn't have a legal council, then I think that the council should be advising
on issues of the contempt, or even the state of execution
and all these things. So sometimes, even depending upon maybe the location, lawyers don't normally like going to, I mean, maybe the kind of lawyers who are in those environments, and then that's key. So I think it's the human resource capacity of the assemblies.
Well, we do understand, but somebody of his caliber who has been chosen as or appointed a DCE should be very much circumspect. Is that not?
I agree with you. I agree with you. If according to what we are all getting from the newspaper is anything to go by, then I think that the DCE, honestly speaking, shouldn't have behaved that way, because as a commander-in-chief of the district, he is the head of the district, more or less the chief executive or the president of the whole district. I think you should comport yourselves. I think that's one thing that I can say. But we need to go into details. We have not heard from his version. And because
he's been jailed already, so if you hear from his version, it will make no difference, does it?
Oh, yeah, you know, when they say somebody is jailed.
Or he's going to appeal.
When they say somebody is jailed, I mean, it happens tomorrow. And today, a lot of things can happen. I mean, his lawyers can file a lot of papers, and things can change. I mean, so I think that if you take what is being reported from the papers, I think it's not a good news at all. Because as a chief executive of a particular area, you need to comport yourselves, and that's my personal
Okay, so this Bright Demoji, Member of Parliament for Botiano, English Amanfro, would also be joined by another Member of Parliament, Alex Kwamina Afenyo-Markin. marking, and he's a member of parliament for
it's called Kokuvi.
Kokuvi. All right, so Honorable Kokuvi will be joining us soon, and we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll also be getting his thoughts on the subject of the DCE being given a 2-week jail sentence for being contempt of court. Do stay on. Alex Afenyo Marking is in the studio, member of parliament for Futu. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
We're just talking about a DCE who has been jailed for contempt, and basically talks about an intention of the assembly to demolish a market, and there was a petition to the court, and there was a stay of execution by the court as well, following that very petition by the Market Women Association. And then apparently he went on radio and said he was not afraid, and seemed to have called the judges or members of the judiciary as corrupt and thieves, and that was brought to the attention of the judge. The case was presided over by Miss Justice Ivy Haywood Mills.
In Accra, yeah?
No, in Cape Coast.
Well, it's an unfortunate incident, but you see, our courts have such powers. You know, during the election petition hearing, we saw how the court could wield so much powers in ensuring that there is sanity in the system, there is justice, there is fairness. We must respect institutions of states, and the judiciary is one arm of government, one arm of state institution that you cannot, disrespect. I don't know what might have gone wrong for the DCE to have incurred the wrath of the learned trial judge, but it's an unfortunate matter. I mean, I expect that the lawyers would take immediate steps, to seek a review of that decision. I mean, contempt is a quasi-criminal, so even a review would not be it. I mean, it has to be an appeal. So you have to apply for bail pending appeal, okay, and make a strong case. So, unfortunately, today is the last day for the vacation sitting of our courts. The judges and magistrates are also going to their conference, and court will be resuming tentatively by on the 6th of October. And that's when the new term, legal term, would start. So
on the 6th is on Monday?
Yes, yes.
That's a holiday too.
Well, so it means that 7th, now such an application cannot be ex parte. It has to be on notice. So today being Tuesday, being the last day, tomorrow the High Court will not be sitting. Thursday High Court will not sit. Friday it will not sit. So if they file any process at all, the immediate hearing date would be, say, next week, Tuesday or Wednesday.
So what does it mean?
He will be in a cooler.
Cooler means?
He's been incarcerated. He would have.
So he will be there. So immediately after the case, you
straight away, unless it's a procedure. You've been convicted.
Unless the conviction was in absentia. That one they'll go and look for you.
If you were convicted in absentia, then of course they go and look for you. Is that the case that he was not in court?
It's not been stated, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm only
if the man was not in court and he was convicted in absentia, of course, I mean, they will carry the warrant of his conviction, and look for him. The police would have to look for him and get him arrested to.
But then otherwise, if he was present, then straight away he's already.
Straight away you get him.
The appeal, you have to wait. All these days we're talking about. That's a week's time.
You see, it's a conviction, and you've been convicted and sentenced. Now we have two procedures. One, you can apply for bail pending appeal. Then you demonstrate to the court that there was a miscarriage of justice. I mean, you have a very strong case. You are not a flight risk. You would stand trial. Your appeal has a high likelihood of success and all that. You have to demonstrate that to the appellate court. This is a circuit court. So, I mean, the appeal can be heard by the High Court. And I'm saying that one way of dealing with this 14 days, instead of he being in jail for 14 days, he could get his lawyers to apply for bail pending appeal. So, and unfortunately, because we are ending the vacation sitting today, the application cannot be heard this week. It will be next week. And you just draw my attention that Monday is a holiday. So the earliest, depending on how fast the lawyers are. But unfortunately, for during vacation time does not run. So if you if the Attorney General's office decides to go technical, then it means that the earliest the application can be heard will be Friday.
Next week
because
Friday.
you need 3
or this
days.
very Friday.
Next week Friday.
But you may have served today.
Well, more or less. I mean, it's an unfortunate thing. So those are the things they want to do bail pending appeal, because he's been convicted and sentenced.